Oh my goodness. Anything else over the weekend that was pressing? I don't think so. I don't think so. I watched I watched that documentary, the one on Netflix. There's two documentaries about the Titan submersible. Uh, One is on Netflix, the other one's on Discovery, HBO Discovery, that shit. The Netflix one is so much better. And what I realized from this was that the guy that ran that company, what the fuck was the name of the company? I had it here or something. No, that's prep from last night. I think I threw it on the floor. Yeah,
Ocean Gate?
yeah, the Ocean Gate guy. What's his name? That's all I really need. Mm. Yeah, what the fuck is his name?
One second
Shit.
here.
Got some real upper
So
crusty
yeah,
waspy fuck name.
Stockton Rush.
Stockton Rush. That's it. Old Stockton Rush. What a douchebag this guy was. You know, they say no, don't speak ill of the dead, and I believe in that to a point. Um, but you watch this documentary, and you know the story. He had this submersible, and he was selling tickets for $250,000 a piece to take people down to see the wreck of the Titanic. Now, the Titanic is really fucking far down there. It's like, what is it, over four, or just about 4,000 meters below the surface of the North Atlantic. And was taking people down there. I think a total of five people could uncomfortably fit in the submersible. Had a big window on the front, one of the domes on the front, these titanium domes that sealed each end of what you could describe as a carbon fiber toilet paper tube. And everybody that's familiar with submersibles it said, like, this is the dumbest fucking idea for a submersible you could ever have. James Cameron, who of course did the movie Titanic, had been down to the Titanic in his own submersibles. He's like more involved with submersibles and shit like that than he is in filmmaking these days. He's like one of the premier people in deep sea dives. And he said that right when he got word that they had lost contact, he just knew they were dead. He had talked about this before they even died in this implosion, that this was a horrible idea. The idea of carbon fiber at that depth and that kind of pressure on it is ridiculous. And it wound up costing Stockton Rush and his four passengers their lives. One of the passengers was the guy when it comes to Titanic and deep sea dives. He had been in many other subs that have gone down to Titanic, and this guy was the pro. And the fact that he didn't see the danger, the imminent danger of going into this thing is amazing. They cover that a little in the documentary, and it almost seems like the guy's like, well, I lived a good long life. If I've dedicated my life to Titanic, so I'm just another dead body down there. I think he might have wanted to die in the ruins of the Titanic, and this sub was a great opportunity for him to do that. Maybe he did know. This thing, when it started going down to and getting to any significant depth, it would start popping and crackling from the carbon fibers snapping. And it would make this really frightening sound if you were in there. They had recordings of it where it would just pling, pling, you know, this ringing sound and just this abrupt crack. And this idiot just continued taking this thing down. every other iteration of it, the first hull that they built cracked. All of the scale, the 1/3 scale models of this hull had cracked in the labs and exploded or imploded under pressure that they would need to get down to see the Titanic. It's just pure luck that he was able to go down to the Titanic a few times and actually come back up. But he was a scumbag, this guy. So he would, if anybody came up to him and said, hey, Stockton, there's a problem. We're catching cracks in this thing. It's making sounds. We have problems with the seals around the titanium. And he would fire people that would give him any shit. And then it gets to the point where no one wants to say anything. And now you have the perfect environment for utter and complete disaster. People know there's problems, and they're afraid to tell this guy about the problems, and he just doesn't care. He was always talking about how safe this is, and believe me, I go down in there. I'm not going to die in this thing. Well, I think you are. And yeah, they wound up going down, and it imploded on him, the Titanic guy, another employee, and then two tourists, two people that paid their $250,000 each, a father and son. Rich guy takes his son down there, and they both implode. They both get squished inside this thing. So, but you know, it's one of those. It's a very common story of arrogance and this false security that this thing you made is impervious to damage. And they didn't. They brought up the irony of the Titanic and that type of arrogance that had played part in its sinking, and the arrogance of Stockton Rush and his creation, thinking it was impervious to the ravages of nature and the unbelievable environment that is down at those depths. So, you know, you got to kind of feel bad for the people that were on board with him, even though, I mean, I couldn't imagine even getting close to this thing. I wouldn't want to be put in this thing knowing it wasn't even going to get off the dock. I wouldn't even crawl into it. And people who get into this thing, and then they bolt you in. There's no door. There's no hatch. That front piece with the window on it, you get into this tube, and they shut it and bolt you into this thing, and you cannot get out until you are back on the deck of the ship, and they unbolt it and let you out. That alone, I mean, it's not like you're going to get out anyway at that depth, but the second it goes underwater and you just go, there's no way I can get out of this thing, has to be unbelievably frightening and claustrophobic. But these people did it. And without really paying attention to the risks, they paid their money, and the guy took his son. Like, dude, why don't you go first? How about you go first and then let the son go? Because that just amazing. Killed both of them. The wife is just in an interview going, I can still feel them in the room with me. And she's just alone now because this idiot decided to take his son and go on some rickety fucking thing, untested. It didn't even, Stockton Rush didn't even have it certified as a deep sea diving vessel. You know, there are third parties that certify these things. They go through rigorous testing on materials and the way people control it. This guy controlled this thing with a PlayStation controller. Same controller you use for your PlayStation. That's how this thing drove around down under the water. And no third party would have certified this. So he just said, we're not going to get it certified. And that should have been a red flag to anybody that was going to pay $250,000 to go down on this thing. Hey, can I see the certification for this? Oh, yeah, we don't have one. All right, take it easy. Good luck there. Not like, oh, you don't have a certification? Hey, let me get my boy. Let me get my son down here, and we'll both go. So, yeah, the one thing aside from that overall common story of arrogance and disaster, the biggest thing I took away from this is that Stockton Rush was a fucking jerk off, just a fucking asshole. And I think we've all known people like this guy, a boss at a company you worked for, some fucking smarmy millionaire guy that just thinks he's the fucking the camel's balls. Is that a thing? I'm making it a thing. And it ended, in him dying and other people dying. So, yeah, fuck him. Fuck Stockton Rush. Fuck him in his ass. He's clown shoes.